Welcome, Tay. Welcome, Sarah. I'm so excited to have you guys. How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Good night last night.
I know. We had such a great time. We literally had the premiere, right?
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about the premiere?
It was really well done.
Tell me
The event
everything.
was beautiful. There was like line dancing and like everybody joined in. Charlie performed live. That was
A marching band.
a marching band led us from the theatre to the after event. So it was such an extravagant production. It was really well done. How
Yeah.
did you like it?
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was like, again, such a surreal moment overall. Like, we're here again,
Yeah.
especially from last year, having to see the movie in front of us. It really does take a village for everyone to kind of just make the film
And so
alive.
quickly.
So
as well.
quickly.
And it's so good. The movie is
Exactly.
so good.
Exactly. I want to get into, first of all, how we all met. I remember the first time I met you guys. You guys were on set and I was so excited. Everyone was talking about Tay and her sister. They're coming to visit and they're going to meet the cast. And I was like, oh my gosh, how did you guys feel being on set on the first movie?
It was surreal.
Yeah.
It was great because I think that everyone being in the costumes, like the Archwood Wolves costumes, was like the perfect way for me to first walk in because that team, like I made that team up when I wrote the book, you know, like it was something that came from my imagination to see like the cast wearing the costumes and the extras and to see the posters on the school wall.
Yeah.
And for it to all be brought to life is like, it's crazy. Like as an author, you would dream about that kind of thing happening. You'd never really imagine that it would happen.
Yeah.
So that was like the perfect moment for me to like first meet everybody when they were all wearing their gear and everything. So yeah.
Did you expect Gabby to be exactly what she was as you were writing it, or?
Yeah, because Gabby's based loosely after me, as
Which
I
is
was
so freaking cool.
as a teenager. So you're a very significant character.
And I love you.
And I was so excited to like see how she was going to be brought to life. And I didn't really have like any expectations necessarily. I just was excited to see what they did with it. And like you did so beautifully.
I love
like,
you.
Honestly, you stole the scenes that you were in. It was just like such an incredible performance. And I like couldn't be happier with the casting.
You're the best.
It
Oh
was
my gosh.
it was wonderful.
Well, I want to get into this. So, from Wattpad to the big screen, I definitely want to, ask you, Tay, what inspired you to write the QB Bad Boy and Me in the first place?
It was really an experiment of sorts. I loved writing. I'd written a couple of other things on the Wattpad platform before, but I could see what was trending, and it was bad boy books.
Yeah.
It was this very specific genre that was trending, and it wasn't something that I typically would have gravitated towards. My writing was generally more coming of age, like dealing with grief, and very emotional stories. And so I was like, I'm just going to write something very like fun, like rom-com, a little bit cliche. And I'm going to put Bad Boy in the title and I'm just going to see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
And I had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
I really did. I didn't like have a total overall plan of how it was going to go, but I had a lot of fun writing it. And yeah, I mean, it shot to like #1.
Crazy.
It was the most read book on the Wattpad platform in 2018 out of 580 million other books.
Insane.
And so like the experiment definitely like paid off.
Yeah.
But it really actually became like so like close to me. Like I started with that one book, and by the time I finished writing it, I was like, I've got to continue these characters. So I wrote a second one, and then people were like, please, we need more. Like, so then I wrote like a Gabby spin-off, and then
Hello.
yeah, and then I did Dallas and Drayton's Children.
Wow.
And like a prequel of Drayton's Parents, and
Pure Believer.
yeah, that's the Drayton's Children.
Is that his children?
Yeah. And like Lydia, which is, if you know the Wattpad lore, Gabby and Josh have a baby. So,
Wow. Yeah.
so then I did the like her story, like there's just such a universe that I created. I spent 5 years like of my
Wow.
life writing these characters and creating this world, and so like I know them like the back of my hand. Like they're very close to me.
Wow.
Because what started off as just kind of like a fun little experiment, it's like, yeah, these people, these characters feel so like, you know, real to me and close to me. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of
Wow.
took on a life of its own.
I heard you wrote in your living room,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I had small children at the time, like very small children at the time. So, you know, they'd be watching their like cartoons and stuff, and I would be on my phone, like typing away. I'd be like cooking dinner. Oh, I've got an idea. Like, quickly type that out. Like, I did everything on my phone. All of the stories were written on my phone. And I wrote whenever I could, and it became something that was really like for myself while I was in the midst of like raising toddlers.
Wow.
You know, just something that,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
Wow. Did you ever imagine it would become a film? Like, let alone a whole franchise?
no, not at all. I didn't even know what was gonna, if anything was gonna come of it when I wrote it, like if it was gonna do well. I was like, oh my goodness, like this is like huge. This is huge. And that for me was such an accomplishment to like get that many like views on it. And so I just, everything that happened after that was like a bonus. Like getting it published as a physical book,
Yeah.
which was like a lifelong dream to have a physical.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like amazing. Like I feel like I've accomplished something. Like that's great. And then so like anything that happened after that was like the prequel got published, and so there was 2 books that was published. I was like, oh my gosh, like everything, like I was grateful for every little step.
Yeah.
And so like having the movie it's just surreal. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't, you know, like it doesn't feel like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just always in awe of like what can like be accomplished.
Yeah.
Especially considering like I was in New Zealand at the time, and this is like all happening over here in America, and it's like technology these days, like, you know.
It's crazy. Walk me through that. You just decided to write it on your phone. Did you have a team behind you already at this point, or
No.
you didn't have a team? And then, especially when it was getting published, walk me through also the time when producers hit you up or you got a call from somebody saying, hey, we want to make it a movie. How did you feel about everything?
Yeah. So I remember getting told it was going to be published.
Yeah.
That was insane. She was with me. We were like freaking out. And then because like when you sign like a publishing contract, it includes like rights to the movies. So Wattpad worked their asses off basically.
wow.
Like they were like pitching the story to developers and whatnot. And then I can't even remember. It was sometime later. It must have been in like 2020, maybe 2019. I was on a call with my manager, and he was like, oh, and I've sent over, you know, the paperwork about the movie. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like the movie, your book's becoming a movie. And I was like, shut up. Like,
That's insane.
don't lie. And he was like being very slick, like, yeah, I knew you didn't know that. I just wanted to see your reaction. So, yeah. And I mean, I was very like back from it, being all the way over in New Zealand. Like there's not a lot of like involvement that I can do like hands on, but they kept me updated every step of the way. Like every new little development was like shared with me, and it was quite a long process. Like I don't know if you remember, it was like from the time it got like approved to actually start filming was like
Yeah.
years.
It was.
like the pandemic and like
100%.
all of
yeah.
that sort of stuff. So it was a very long, I started to think like this isn't like happening anymore because it was taking so long. And I remember finding out that Noah got cast. That was one of my very first people that I heard about being cast. And
Were you shocked it was Noah Beck?
I knew who he was. Like I didn't follow him at
Yeah.
that point just because like I'm a bit older and like that wasn't my, you know, I'm not his demographic.
Yeah.
But I knew who he was and instantly was like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
can absolutely see him
Yeah.
as like Drayden, which I was like so grateful for because obviously when I first heard that it was going to become a movie, I was like, oh, who are they going to cast?
Yeah.
Drayton's so beloved by so many people.
Yeah.
And no, I was like so happy. I was like, yeah, he absolutely suits like how I would imagine Drayton.
Yeah.
And so like I felt so lucky. And like everybody after that was just, I was like, wow, I've been really lucky with my casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, seriously though, he killed it as Drayton.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I don't think anyone could have played a better Drayton than Noah. Like
Yeah.
he just has that essence of Drayton that everybody loves. And yeah, even the second movie, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this
So
he
good.
killed it. Like
I mean, I so agree. And he cares so much about like the source material. Like he's like clearly really studied like how Drayton behaves,
yeah.
mannerisms and like everything. And so like he really like puts everything into it, which I'm so appreciative of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
keep saying to her in the movie, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so Drayton.
every time he did something, we were like,
Seriously?
look at each other and be
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's Drayton.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome. I'm sure he would like be so appreciative.
Yeah,
if you
I
guys
went
would
up and
say
I was
that.
like, you did incredible.
yeah.
Truly.
That is so awesome. Yeah, he definitely killed it, especially for like a big debut for his acting career.
yeah.
Insane. What message do you hope people take away from Sidelined as a story, both the first and now the second film?
I think it's that like your dreams can be as big as you want them to be, but it doesn't like necessarily mean that you have to like sacrifice like happiness. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's like this sort of push these days for like the women to be very independent and on their own and like boss babe, which like I totally like respect and everything, but I think sometimes you hear this like narrative that like if she does end up with the guy, like that's why she should just be. And I'm like, no, I actually love doesn't have to be a weakness, you know, like loving someone doesn't have to be a weakness.
Well said.
Actually, when it's like a good love and it's like a strong connection and the right person, like that can be totally beneficial to your life. You can have somebody that loves and supports you and wants to like walk with you. And that's what I always wanted to like portray with Drayton and Dallas was that like she was very independent. She really wanted to like follow her dreams and everything, and she like slowly like learns to realize that like Drayton wants her dreams for her too.
Yeah.
know? And so like he's not there to hold her back. He's there to like celebrate with her.
Yeah.
And so like that's, you know, what I hope continues to come out of the story. And I think like you can still see that. You can see that in the second movie as well. Like
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it all, the second movie.
Yeah.
It was such a good movie. I literally was like so invested
Yeah.
that I almost forgot I was in it. I kept telling the castmates that I was like, I was so invested. And then I'll like see myself. I'm like, oh, yeah. That was me.
That's
But like,
me.
no, like what's going on with Drayton and Dallas, you know?
No, it was so good. It was really good. I was really happy with how it turned out.
Tay, I want to go and dive a little deeper. So you've been really open about going through dark times and becoming a mom at a young age. How did motherhood change your past and your sense of purpose?
Yeah, I mean, I was 17 when I had my first baby. And I went from being in a quite chaotic home, very, a lot of emotional and psychological abuse and that sort of thing. Really lacked sort of like an identity, didn't really know who I was, to being a mother. So I went from living at home with parents to like then answering to children. Like I never had that
Healthy transition.
phase in life where I was able to be on my own and just kind of be like selfish in a good way, and focus on myself and heal myself before I started being responsible for another life. So I was, motherhood like forced me into responsibility that I really wasn't prepared for. But I did my best. Wasn't always like, you know, amazing. Writing gave me something that was my own at that time when I was still figuring out, you know, who I was and where I was trying to go. And I'm like glad I had my husband was good to me. Like he like worked and took care of me and stuff while I was with the babies. Like I got to raise them and be at home and do my writing. So, you know, that was really great. But yeah, I mean, I think that I'm still figuring things out, you know, like my baby's 15 now, you know, and we've got 2 more. And it probably wasn't until like recent years where I really started to actually learn who I was. And that was through like God. It was like not through like anything else at that point. I think I spent so many years trying to figure out my identity through the wrong things. And it wasn't until I actually came to have like a relationship with Jesus and like learn healing through that, through forgiveness, through what I've been through.
I'm crying. I like tearing up.
Yeah. And it's very easy to get lost in the noise of the world telling you how you should get better, how you should heal. Do this, you know, this will make you happy. This will bring you peace. Like I did all those things. Like I did all the different things, but ultimately it was, you know, a couple of years ago when I was raised to believe in God, but I didn't really know Jesus until recently, like in the last couple of years. And that was when I really started to just, like, I felt peace like I've never felt it before.
So beautiful.
And I was really able to, like, forgive a lot of people in my life that had hurt me and that sort of thing. And now I just feel very grounded. Like, and that's, you know, due to my faith and knowing that no matter how chaotic things get, like I've got the Lord.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a strong foundation.
Yeah.
100. And I completely am with you on that 100%.
Yeah.
Your identity became you being a child of God.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely so beautiful to hear.
And that's how I'm trying to like raise my children now. And it's like, I'm trying to make sure they know that like, you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You will make mistakes. You will stumble. Like none of us have this right. That's why we have Jesus, you know?
Wow.
Like he's got it right for us, you know? And so I want them to know that that's a very safe place to be.
Well, you sound like you're a great mother. So
it's taken some time to like get to this point, but
I feel like everyone's always learning.
Yeah.
And you sound like you're doing amazing, raising them well with such strong core foundations, especially believing in God and learning that Jesus is your Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful to hear that, especially being in this industry. So you mentioned that your children truly saved you. So how did that shift your creative drive and how you view your own story now?
That's a tough one to sort of like articulate, I think. They definitely saved me in the way that like where I was when I got pregnant, like brought me out of some like dangerous situations. I mean, that's like probably something that like not a lot of people know is that like I was in a very bad way and coping with a very traumatic childhood in all the wrong ways.
Absolutely.
Like I said. But children give you a sense of purpose, you know? It's like I've got this like little person now that I have to keep alive and do right by. And it's like, I think with all the information that you get on how to be a parent these days, where it's like just funneling in from like 1,000 different directions, it's like, what advice do I follow?
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Like what's gonna not screw them up?
Yeah.
And then it's like I feel like sometimes I almost overcompensated because I was like, I need to just make my children happy, you know. And it's like actually, kids need to learn how to deal with sometimes not being happy. Yeah. I think I've gone like a little bit off course here with your original question.
No, I love it. I'm here for it.
But yeah, so like I guess like the purpose they gave me was just learning how to like get back on track and like find healthy ways to cope with anything that's negative, you know, because like that wasn't something that we had. We didn't know how to cope with anything negative. And so it's like I try and teach them a lot. Like you will definitely feel things that make you feel maybe like out of control sometimes, angry, you know, you want to lash out. Let's find the right way to deal with these big emotions. You know, you don't need to be happy all the time. You just need to know how to cope when you're not happy.
That's so good. And I feel like throughout all this process, you've just also learned to give yourself grace. And, you know, your children grace as well.
Oh yeah, that's like a big one. It's like I'm going to give you the grace that I know the Lord has given me.
Yeah,
like,
so true.
yeah.
Sarah, so you said earlier that your childhoods weren't easy. So what do
Mm-hmm.
you both remember about how that shaped your bond as sisters?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't remember Taylor as a huge part of my childhood. So they're like small glimpses where she's there and we would like play together, but she wasn't really around, which I totally get because had I been her age, I would have been out of that
a
home.
teenager trying to be anywhere
Yeah.
but home.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
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 So she wasn't heavily involved in my life for a period of time from what I can recall. But once she had Ashton, so I became an auntie when I was 8, we became really close. Like I moved into the flat with her when she was pregnant and I would sleep out there with her, although
Cute.
she wouldn't let me sleep under the covers. I had to be in a sleeping bag on the bed. And we started becoming close then, and she ended up moving out with Ashton and living with my grandma, which was heartbreaking. I was very upset that she was leaving, even though it was like a 2-minute drive, because I loved having him around and being with her. He was like a little brother to me. And just over time, yeah, we would spend like so much time together. And I would say I helped raise her kids once I was older. When she had a surgery, I would be over there and helping her with the kids because her husband's working. So I'd take school off to take care of her and help her. She couldn't pick the kids up. I probably ditched a lot of school so that I could go hang out with her and the kids.
Yeah, I mean, she was like definitely a big part of my life. I mean, there was like a period where I wasn't a good sister. Like I was very like self-involved because I just wanted to take care of myself, you know.
Yeah.
But like eventually we, like she said, we developed like a close relationship. I picked her up whenever she needed to get out of the house. She was always allowed at my place to sleep over however she wanted, you know. I just tried to like give her the support that I knew I would have needed at her age. And I wasn't allowed to be on the like parent guardian sign out
At
because
school.
because our mum knew that I would just go and sign her out whenever I wanted. So
Yeah.
I think just like the shared trauma, I guess, of what we went through as children, you know, solidifies our bond even further. We have a lot of grace for each other and like a lot of understanding and that sort of thing. So I mean, that always brings you closer together.
Absolutely.
I think.
Especially what you guys shared, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a sister, you know.
Yeah.
You know what that bond is
100%.
like.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah. We're like best friends.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
exactly
good to
that.
see you knit tight together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Like when she moved to Perth, it was the most heartbreaking, painful thing that I'd probably been through because it was like, I'm gonna cry. You know, the kids were so heavily a part of my life, and obviously she was. I'd see her all the time, constantly, and all I wanted to do was like be around her and the children. And then they had to move,
Yeah.
and it was very, very hard. And we talk about it all the time, how desperately we just want to be in the same place. And for me to move over to Australia, that's definitely the dream because I don't want to, she's the only person where I'm like, I don't want to live my life without you right there by my side and without her kids involved. I don't want my kids to grow up without her,
For sure.
without their cousins there.
I mean, yeah, the move was like something I really had to, I feel like I had to do. Like as a family, we had to do it. And as an individual, it's helped me grow so much.
Yeah,
Like I've
for
had to,
And a crazy amount of,
I've been pushed out of my comfort zone. This has like helped me develop as a person,
Yeah.
as a mother. I definitely think it's benefited me in a really positive way. But yeah, being away from your entire family, like 8.5 hour flight from everybody that you've spent so much time with
Yeah.
is really hard.
It must be. you
Yeah.
know. And I understand like environment is everything, right?
Yeah.
If you were just constantly stuck in this small place for so long and then finally your horizons have just been like you've just been so exposed to such new cultures, everything,
Yeah.
right? I completely understand because I've moved multiple times and the first time when I moved it was one of the hardest things. Our family was so close together. We were a big family living in a very, very small house. We had to all separate at some point.
Yeah.
It was a hard, like I was crying at the airport and I was like, this is insane. Like I'm so close with my brothers. I'm so close with my sister and my mom and my dad, and half of us are just driven apart. It was like during the 2008 crash. So it was very hard on us, like financially growing up. But I'm so thankful that I did that because I've learned so much through that process and my horizons definitely got so much more deeper. So Sarah, you went through major surgeries and just months later you were traveling to America with Tay. Can you share what was that experience like?
Like the surgery and going on? Yeah. So, I guess I'll give like a short backstory. I have a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And so it messes with your connective tissue, which is the glue to your entire body. So really anything could like fail or fall apart. And I had been sick since I was about 6 years old, but it progressively got worse. And once I hit puberty, it got pretty bad. I got diagnosed with endometriosis, was having those types of surgeries. And it wasn't until I was about 18 that I found out I had EDS. And in 2020, I started getting really sick when I'd eat. So I would vomit whenever I'd eat or drink anything. I was vomiting up to like 50 times a day. I ended up with a feeding tube and trialed one that went into my stomach first, which didn't work. And then the second one went into my small intestine. But it was brutally painful, really horrible. I'd collapse on the ground from just like trying to push fluid through. It would make me so sick. And the doctors in New Zealand weren't like doing anything. They weren't helping. No one could give me answers. I would have scans that would show certain things we thought were wrong and they would hide the results from me or not want to discuss it and just act like nothing was going on. And I was slowly just dying. And it was hard to function or do anything. And I was miserable and I was so angry and in so much pain. And so in the end, I ended up finding through like Facebook and communities about these conditions called vascular compressions. So just different arteries in your abdomen that are compressed, blocking blood flow and stopping you from being able to eat. But I had issues in like my pelvis and my kidneys and then up in my small intestine. So all over my whole abdomen. And I ended up finding a surgeon in Germany who I just sent my CT scan to, and he was like, I can see 3 compressions. And that was the moment where we were all like, okay,
Wow.
there is something that's going on. But it was terrifying because now I knew I was going to have to get to Germany and have open surgery. So I headed off about 2 months later, probably, and the surgery was about $100K, and that doesn't take in account to the flights and health insurance, accommodation, all of that. And I ended up having a open abdominal surgery, so they cut from up here down, and had to fix everything. I had 6 vascular compressions, and my kidney, when I would stand up, would drop and it would lose all of its blood flow. So that had to be pinned to my rib. And the recovery was horrible. It was, I would beg my mum to just let me die because it was, I had a epidural and then I ended up on fentanyl and oxycodone, and I was still desperate to just die from how painful it was. Yeah. And the recovery takes about a year. And at the start, we honestly thought it hadn't worked and I wasn't getting better because I was just getting worse, which is a normal thing to happen because your body's in complete shock. I hit about 4 months post-op where things are kind of like turned overnight randomly, and I started feeling better and I could get up and do things. Wow. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try go to the gym, go out and walk the dogs, do these things. But I was still obviously struggling, trying to like eat again properly and gain weight and all of those things. Now currently, things that I had done at the surgery have gone backwards, and I have a lot of issues going on now from the surgery. Taylor ended up finding out at WhatCon. It was WhatCon,
yeah,
wasn't it?
WhatCon. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a wattpad event where all the writers get
I was in Germany.
Comic-Con type thing.
Yeah.
When she found out about it, and she called, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. She's going to be able to go to LA. I want to go. And obviously I didn't think I was going to go to LA with her, but I was able to. And yeah, that was a really cool experience because, you know, I guess for her and my family, they were, I mean, she always said, you know, I never thought you were going to die. But a lot of people around were, if you were being realistic, that's where it was heading.
I was like, I can't accept that. Like, I'd have friends being like, are you like prepared to like perhaps that your sister will die? And I was like, no. Like,
No, absolutely not.
but so like going to America, like I just remember when we were in the US and like we were walking around Disneyland and stuff, just like looking at her like with this like thank you God, like my sister's walking around Disneyland with me right now.
Such a blessing.
She was barely alive a few months ago. Like this is like insane. I was so grateful. Like if I talk about it too much, I'll cry. But like it was like, yeah, it was very special. It was like such a special experience, and it's just been so good. I've been able to take her along with me ever since to like experience these things with me, because you know, as we learned, like might not have all the opportunities all the time. So it's like we just want to make the most of them, and yeah, feel very blessed.
I was going to ask you, while she was going through that right before the WatCon event, like what were you going through when you heard what was going on with her?
Yeah, I mean, I think like just the type of person I am, I'm very like compartmentalize things. That's how like I coped growing up, obviously, like just push it to the back of my head. And so like it was always there. I was always aware of like she's going through this, you know, people would talk to me about it. How's Sarah doing? And that brought up the fact that I have to be like realistic about like what her condition was and how bad she was, and like yeah, it was just a lot of like almost mentally checked out. Do you know what I mean? Like I just was like, yeah, no, she's fine.
Yeah.
She's doing good. Like,
Yeah.
you know, whereas like it was there in the back of my head, it was just that like I couldn't accept that things were that bad. Like my mind just wouldn't let me.
For sure.
Yeah. Like I knew, but I was like, I can't really talk about that being like a thing.
Yeah, like you just couldn't accept like what could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would lose it if that happened to my sister.
Yeah.
You know, especially the bond that you guys have.
But she was a really good sister through it all, because, I mean, it's hard to say, you know, be like, yeah, I was super angry at the world and everyone, but, you know, people get mad when they're hungry. So you try starving for 2 years and you're just like all over the place. You're angry from the pain and being like so sick, and from the vomiting and being dehydrated and malnourished, and your hormones being all over the place. And so I was miserable. I was so miserable, and I didn't want to see people, and I just wanted to be, I mean, I'd have moments where I wanted to see people and hang out. And then when I was at my worst, I would be like, leave me alone, don't talk to me. And she was so understanding, you know, she would be the only one that never took it personally if I was locked away in my room and I didn't want to see anyone and I just needed to like deal with it and deal with what I was going through on my own. Whereas, you know, some other people might have not dealt with that as well, but she was, and still is, because there's obviously still times where I'm like, I'm feeling so horrible right now. I just can't see people. And she might come around to the house when she lived in New Zealand. She'd just leave me be and never take it to heart and never get mad at me or make me feel guilty for needing that space, which has always been like a huge blessing, because I do feel like there are people who will make me feel like a lot of guilt for that and for feeling those emotions or just needing space from others, because I don't want to be like snapping at everyone and getting angry. So that's why I go away and lock myself away when I'm really struggling, you know. But yeah, I am really grateful that she's always been
there
like
would
that.
be like some family members that be like, you just need to come out and deal with it and say hello to people when they come and visit you and that sort of thing. Like I would often just like rock up to the house and let myself in, and if she wasn't around in the like general area, like I just didn't go find her, because I knew that she was probably just trying to like cope, right? And she might flick me a text and be like, sorry, I like didn't come out, I'm just like having a hard time. And I'm like, it's fine. It was really like the least I could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially with what you were going through. My sister would have done probably the same thing. And it's so good that you guys literally understand each other. You would know what she would want, vice versa. So That's really awesome that you were very understanding when a lot of the people weren't understanding towards her. And I'm sure she definitely appreciates it. So I wanted to kind of move back to Sidelined to Intercepted. Tay, what can fans expect from Sidelined Intercepted that feels new or evolved from the first film?
New characters, obviously. Which both of them were fantastic. Well, there was more than two. There was a couple, but like Rowan and Charlie were a really lovely addition.
Wow. Yeah.
Charlie was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like
Amazing.
really fantastic.
So good.
I mean, being that when I wrote the characters, like very specifically never did a sequel breakup. I never did like a love triangle. I never did any other potential love interest. I kept it very Dallas and Drayton only. And so like this is going to come out after the movie.
Yes, after the movie. Don't worry.
So for me, like hearing about this, you know, like Skylar coming onto the scene, I was a bit like, don't know how I feel about that. But honestly, you can't help but fall for him.
Yeah.
He's fantastic.
He is.
Like he's a really good,
Amazing actor.
very good actor. Very like you just watch him when he's on the screen. Very charming. Yeah, he was a great addition. I really loved that. But like I loved that like the chemistry between Dallas and Drayton is like it's so strong.
Yeah, unmatched.
You know, I wasn't sure obviously how hearing like about another guy coming into the mix. I didn't know how that would impact Dallas and Drayton's connection. I think that was what I was like a little bit about, but they did so well. I mean, honestly, they did really well. They really kept true to like that connection that I created between Dallas and Drayton. So I'm very thankful for that. I thought it was really good. And I think that people are going to love it. Like in terms of like a sequel where I feel like you never really know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I think people will really, really love it. Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I was so invested in it, watching it. I was like, this is so good. I would watch it. Ideally, if it wasn't for the premiere and I wasn't in it, I would be in bed watching this. What's a moment from the sequel that you're most proud of or can't wait for the fans to see? Oh, maybe without giving spoilers, right? I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, I mean, you could put like a spoiler alert, like if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
But that's a tough one. I feel like there were so many good moments. Honestly, it's crazy because one of my favorite moments was Charlie singing during the music video and Sienna dancing.
Yeah, that was so nice.
That was gorgeous, but I
so
also
good.
really loved the backseat of the car.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
That was funny.
So comedic. Yeah.
That was very funny, and that was very Drayton. The way that
especially when he came out the window.
when he popped his
when he popped his head out the window.
that was so good. I was like, oh my goodness, that was classic. Yeah, I think there's honestly going to be a lot of like fan favorite moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does the sequel deepen the themes of love, redemption, and self-discovery from the original?
I think it's like we've seen that like them coming together and like overcoming those like fears and stuff like that, and now we're seeing them being faced with like the reality of adulthood almost, and like being pulled in multiple directions. And how does that like impact the person that you're sharing your life with? How does that like, how do you all fit in together? And
So true.
is the love enough to like overcome these very different directions, you know? Which obviously Drayton and Dallas, they'll overcome anything.
Yeah.
Come on. No, but yeah, I think it was a very well done, realistic but not annoyingly realistic
Yeah.
like ending. Because, you know, spoiler alert, but sometimes I think when a movie is too close to like realism and it's like, I don't actually want to watch this because I'm trying to escape. Like,
I agree. Yeah. That's so true.
but I think it was well done. Like it was like, it was relatable, but it wasn't like, oh,
Like relatable, but
game.
like it was satisfying.
Yeah.
It was satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
It's been a crazy journey from the start. I remember when she got her phone call that she was going to be published, and we're screaming and jumping together. That was crazy. And then when she told us it was getting like turned into a movie, because she had come out and said, oh, you know, they might send it to like Netflix and these places and see what happens. And then it got picked up. And I was like, no way. Like this is actually happening. Yeah, it was the coolest thing. And I'm just very proud of her.
Yeah.
And all that she's been able to achieve.
That's so it's actually surreal, and it's literally so many people's dreams for their book to literally become a movie, which is crazy. Tay, you've mentioned wanting to go beyond surface level interviews. What's one thing people don't know about this chapter of your career that you'd love to share?
Yeah, I think it's probably just that like I'll be moving in like a more like faith-based direction. I really want to write things that are a little bit more like true to who I am now as a person.
Praise the Lord.
I love my like stories and my characters and everything, and I like will forever be like, this means so much to me, everything that's happened. I'm just like going in like a different genre direction. Like now I might like try some like maybe Christian romance or like some coming of age, that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of see where the Lord takes me.
I'm excited. I'm excited that you're following God's will instead of your own.
Yeah.
And that's such a like one of the hardest but most beautiful walks that you go through as a Christian.
Yeah.
What's been the most rewarding part of connecting with fans who followed your story from Wattpad to film?
Just how like excited they've been about it. How they have been so happy with the casting and the adaptation, and honestly just so much like positive feedback, you know. Like I know that fans of books like that become adaptations can often be quite like critical of how it was adapted and who was cast and that sort of thing, but I've honestly had like mostly positive feedback, which has been so nice, because these like readers have been with me from the beginning, where I was posting like a chapter a week or whatever, and they've been like commenting on the paragraphs, and I've been communicating with them, and I've gotten to know some of these readers so well, and we've become like friends, and I still talk to them, and so like it's so nice to hear like how proud they are and how much they love where the story's gone. It's very special, like when you've shared that history with like people, and they're happy with how things have gone.
Yeah.
Because it's like always been like they've gotten me to where I am, you know. Without all of those readers, like where would we be, you know? So
true.
So it means so much to me that like that they're happy, and that's why it's so important for me to advocate for like how the adaptation goes, like in a way, and to like voice any concerns that I have, and to advocate for like the trueness of the characters, so that the readers are ultimately the ones that are like pleased with how it comes out, because they got us here.
Yeah. For both of you, what do you hope listeners and viewers take away from hearing your story and watching the new movie?
I guess from my side, from a medical side, I want people to like take away from this to stand up for themselves and really like fight for themselves. Sometimes you have to fight for your own life, because doctors aren't willing to do that for you. There are a lot who are great. I have a lot of great doctors, but there are a lot who will just let you die. It's easier for some of them. So advocate for yourself and share your story, because there's so many people out there that are also sick and are exactly like you. With the movie, I don't know how to answer that actually.
Yeah, I think that like if this kind of thing can happen for me, like it can happen for anybody. You know, like just set your mind to it. You know, work hard. Yeah,
I like those answers. Keep following plan A.
Yeah.
There's no plan B. Tay, where can people watch Sidelined 2 Intercepted and follow you online?
Yep, so you can watch Sidelined 2 Intercepted for free on Tubi, November 27th.
On Tubi.
Yep. very excited. And you can find me at Tay Ryder on Instagram, which I'm assuming
Yeah.
will be something in the caption.
100%.
And yeah, that's where I'm most active on Instagram. And then all of my stories can be found on Wattpad, same username.
Yeah. And what books have you also written from Wattpad? And because I know it's not just The QB and Me, there's a lot of books that you've written.
Yeah, there's a lot on Wattpad that's free to read. There's all sorts of genres on there.
The really deep one that you've got on there.
Fight Like a Girl.
Yeah,
Fight
that
Like
is
a
really
Girl.
good.
Fight Like a Girl is about a girl who has been sexually assaulted and is dealing with the aftermath of it. So I really wanted to focus on a healing story rather than the glorifying the actual horror of the action. And so she goes to live with her father, who's she's not very close with, and they become close, and she comes to find that she can trust him, and he actually helps her through like her journey a lot, and her healing. And it is close to me. It's something that I went through myself, so I put a lot of my heart into that one. And it's a really lovely story. It's very emotional, but it means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite stories.
I think it's one of her best books she's ever written.
Really?
Yeah, truly. It needs to be published. It is.
It's very
really good.
It's very, I'm not really sure. I'd probably have to self-publish that one.
It's adult
I don't know
material.
who would pick it up.
Wow.
I mean, it would probably be something that like not
Young
super young,
adults.
but like 15 plus. I think it could help a lot of other girls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, that's definitely something that I'm very proud of that work. And then I've got like Meant for Me as my new adult published book that you can buy anywhere that you can buy books. So
That's so awesome. Well, I'm excited to definitely reading on those. Sarah, what's next for you? Any projects, travels, or exciting plans ahead?
I'm just trying to go through the motions and deal with stuff I've got to deal with, health stuff still. But my goal really is to get out of my home, leave the environment where all of my trauma stems from, because I think it's really hard to heal in the same place that hurt you. So that is a big goal of mine. Hopefully Perth. Hopefully where Taylor and the kids are.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And hopefully there'll be more traveling soon.
I foresee that, you guys traveling a lot together.
I will be going to Perth in February for a concert and to see Taylor and the kids.
That's so awesome.
That's the next trip that's already planned, kind of.
we've got so many plans. We want to go to Tokyo.
Yeah.
We want to go to Florida.
Disneyland, like every Disneyland, Disney World.
You guys in Disneyland are like,
Yeah, we need to see it all.
We've got lots of plans and no money.
well,
But somehow we've been making it work.
and somehow God's been providing. Hey, God's been providing.
Yeah.
Okay, last question to wrap everything up. If you could describe this whole journey from childhood to now in one word, what would it be and why?
Oh gosh. I'm trying to think of like there's like a really like beautiful word that like describes grace, but I cannot remember what it is. Yeah, I mean I would have to say like grace.
It's beautiful.
That's like
I wouldn't even know what word to use. I was going to say an adventure. I'll just say adventure for one word.
For sure.
But definitely, it has been a big adventure, huge journey, all of it. Lots of ups and downs.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys came here, and thank you for me interviewing you. I'm so blessed and thankful that we are here now. It's insane and so surreal.
Thanks for having us.
yeah.
Of course. I love you guys.
I love you.
Okay, we are done.
Yay.
Right? Is that the way to end it? I'm so bad at ending it.